Hello everyone, welcome. This is whatever you want to call me, Super Ninja Llama / Little Homeschool. Still can't decide. People call me different things every day. We'll keep going with it, whatever you want to call me. But first, we'll talk about I just bought Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Black Friday at $25 at GameStop. Great deal, about to get one free. I got Sekiro, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Bloodborne all for $35. And the weird thing is, this is the third time I have bought Bloodborne, actually. So, yeah, I love that game a lot, and I've bought it 3 times, so we'll see. It's been worth it so far. I've loved every second of it. I've played some more Bloodborne. But this was a game that my friend bought when it came out, and I played a little bit of it then, didn't get to play a lot. And been I've been in college, and I was going to college, so I've not had much money to spend on games, so I've had to be very smart with it. But I played the game a lot. I was not the biggest fan. It was like confusing. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't worth $60 to me. Although I also kind of rushed through it and didn't really play it much. And now I'll give you a background on me. I have beaten Dark Souls. I've beaten Bloodborne twice, and I'm in the middle of Dark Souls 3. So I am a very big Souls fan. So it's not like, oh, the game's too hard, or oh, these games just ain't for you. The From Software games are for me. So I'm coming in with high hopes for this one, and I'm not holding anything of what I didn't like at the beginning against it, because like I said, I was in the middle of about to graduate, and I was still trying to figure it out, and I really didn't get to play it much at all. I played like 3 hours of it total, so like I kind of knew what I was getting into, but not really. Like I just kind of had an idea of it. So I kind of threw everything I knew about the game out the window and started it over. Started last night. This is where I'm at in the game, a good distance in. And we'll go ahead and start with the negatives. I feel like the game relies too much on stealth. Just my opinion. I think there's too much stealth in the game. Some people might disagree, but like this area killed me. Like you just physically cannot go in and just attack, because I don't know. That leads to my next complaint. The game relies too much on stealth. And the next complaint is, this game is not like in Bloodborne. If there was a big group of them, you could kind of line them up and just take them all with one big hit. That's not how this game works. You have to take each enemy one-on-one, and sometimes that can work. Sometimes I'm just not a big fan of that. And my next complaint is I feel like the enemies are very repetitive, so far at least, although I am early game, but I feel like it's just all regular little Japanese people. Like, that's nothing big there. But and I still don't know what I think about just having the same weapon the whole game. Still not for sure about it. And my next complaint is this. I think these are bosses. I really don't know. Very weird. The bosses are the guys that take more than one death blow. But I don't like how they just go along with every other enemy. Because I was on this area for at least a solid hour, and counting last night's play, and it's annoying because the boss can notice me first and then come up while I'm fighting other people, which is not how Bloodborne or Dark Souls works. So I can be stuck fighting in the middle of this, which can be annoying because it's not fun trying to fight a boss that I'm struggling with and then have another enemy just attack me from behind. Like, I don't like that. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm not very far in the game. This is early thoughts. So we'll see if that changes, if there's actual big boss fights. But that's another complaint, is the bosses are just not interesting to me so far. Like this guy, I know nothing about him, just the general. There's no story to him at all. He's just an enemy, a bigger one of these enemies, which is always boring. I mean, he has a lot of the same move pattern as the rest of the people. I don't know. I feel like the game is very inconsistent with its dodging mechanics. Like, I will dodge to the side, and he will turn with me. You see? Like, it's very tough to figure. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'll hit, and it'll stagger him, and other times it won't. I don't know. I've not figured the game out yet. And so far, I'm not the biggest fan of the combat. Like, I don't know, it's just not been... I don't know. Bloodborne is my favorite game of all time. It's my favorite game ever. And I played more of it last night while this was downloading, so I don't know. I'm trying not to expect Dark Souls, but, like, you have to expect Dark Souls when it's like this coming from them, and have to expect Bloodborne. But, the combat is not the Bloodborne level, because Bloodborne has some of the greatest combat, and so does Dark Souls in game history. Although, with that said, this is a different game. It is not made to be like that. So I'm still learning, but I learn as it goes on how to take the enemies one by one, and then I kind of learn how to figure out the boss. You can't just hack and slash, back up and slash and slash. With this boss that I'm on, you have to stop and dodge a hit and hit him once, then back up. Like, you can't just... It's got to be a long boss fight, and that can be appreciated. I can enjoy that. I like the I like the change of pace with the bosses so far. But I don't know if these are actual bosses or if these are just mini bosses or what. Because, I don't know, man. Like, I played Bloodborne. The first boss is the Cleric Beast. Like, me, you know that thing is a boss. Father Gascoigne, like, that has a full intro. Thing transforms into a monster. You know that's a boss. These, I'm just like, oh, okay, that's a boss. Like, I don't know. Are there going to be actual boss fights? I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, those are the negatives. Now we'll go to the positives. First of all, this game looks amazing. And I know I had a lot of negatives, but oh, man, the positives. The game looks amazing. I feel like when one-on-one, and like the combat is great. Like I feel like when there's not 70 of them, the combat really is great. But it's tough to figure out is a problem. But once you kind of get a hang of it, like I got the hang of this boss, as you'll see in a minute. Once you get the hang of it, then like man, it's fun. It is a fun combat. It is intense. This boss fight goes down to the I have no more healing items and I cannot take one more hit and I end up killing him. Like that's just fun. See, like I dodged this. I don't know. Like it's tough to figure out. I said see, sorry, I saw the wrong clip. I have the clips kind of staggered at the moment. Still got to fix them, so ignore that. But once you get it one-on-one and you figure out what you're doing, this game is great. Like the combat is. I know I just said I didn't like it, but I don't like it in groups. Is what I meant to say. But one-on-one, once you figure it out, this combat is amazing. Second, I love how fast it is. Some bosses are like this one that I'm on now, where you have to go slow and dodge everyone. But the last one was dodge, hit, then dodge one. Like it was just, there's no stamina. I love it. You can just go all out. There's jumping, there's grappling. This game is just fast. It's chaotic. I really love it. Next is the music is great and the sound effects are great in this game. Amazing. Just that's pretty simple. The music's good. Everything's good. Second is I feel like this game has an actual story to it, which the Dark Souls and Bloodborne games do, but nothing like crazy. But I've enjoyed the story so far. I've not made much sense because it is a From Software game, but I've enjoyed it. It's been a fun one. But overall, I had more. It's confusing. Like obviously, it's a From Software game, so it's a confusing game. That's how all their games are. And this is a new franchise, so and I've tried not to watch videos on it. I've tried to come in unknowing about a lot of it, but man, like I know I complained a lot, and that's because I just beat a frustrating area, so like I'm just remembering the frustrating parts. But the game is really good. Like I am enjoying this game a lot. Like I was looking forward to coming home to play it, and that's how you know it's a good game. I enjoy this game, and I don't really know how I feel about it yet. Like it's not. I have no idea. I can't tell you if this is going to be a game of the year or if I'm not even going to finish this game. It's confusing, but I really enjoy it. So I said the positives are the combat's great, the graphics are great, the fast frenetic pace of it. Sorry, the fast pace is great. The game just feels smooth. Everything with like the jumping and running and the double jumping, it just feels like it's a very good game. Like there's not a lot of barriers. You can kind of jump on everything. It's a good game. You have to think. As a positive I didn't even say, you have to think. Like you could see like sometimes like you have to think and go through these guys one at a time. It's a good game. The negatives are I feel like sometimes there's just too many enemies in one spot. I feel like the bosses just suck straight up. There's no way to sugarcoat that. Bosses suck. I feel like the game's not done a great job at explaining everything, but as someone who's beaten Dark Souls and Bloodborne, I know these games don't explain stuff. So it seems like the negatives are stuff I was kind of expecting, except for the boss fights and the overlines on enemies. Like, I feel like I knew I was getting into something I wasn't like for sure of, because it's a From Software game. So this stuff can be, once I figured it out, I feel like this game is going to be phenomenal. Like, I'm really enjoying it right now. Like I said, I was looking forward to coming to play it. It's a fun game, and I'm enjoying it. Overall, this game has been really good so far. And you know it's a good game when you are frustrated with it. Like, if it's a game I'm not enjoying, I'm just not going to care. Like, I'm mad about this game. Like, I was furious 20 minutes ago playing this. Like, I just beat the boss and then started recording this. That's how you know it's good, when a game can get you invested and play with your emotions like that. It's a good game. I'm enjoying the game so far. Really am. I'm excited to play more of it, and I'll keep you updated as it goes. I don't know if it's, so far I'm not enjoying it as the early levels of Bloodborne, but when I first played Bloodborne I hated that at the start too. That's just how From Software works. We'll see how it goes. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Peace out.